Hey YouTube, Mochismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. Welcome. Today, let's discuss you as it pertains to your awakening and moving forward in life. What does your awakening really mean to you? Does it mean that the experience that you attained from being in a narcissistic, abusive relationship, whatever type of relationship that might have been, does it mean that this is somewhat of a blessing in disguise for you because it caused you to be able to reevaluate yourself as a whole person, independently, apart from people in your life and around your life? Or does it cause you to have a lot of regrets, animosities, hostilities, and whatnot? Not to say that these things are not realistic feelings that you somehow may experience here or there, especially shortly after coming into the knowledge of the fact that you were with a person that really could care less about you, whether you live or die. Those thoughts are reality in a lot of our experiences. But ask yourself, what does it really mean for you to have awakened from this abuse and to come into the knowledge of these factors that you really were in this situation all by yourself? That this person, this entity manipulated and connived you into either marriage, a partnership, a business partnership, a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, a girlfriend-girlfriend relationship, becoming friends of someone in a group, just any facet of life where this person made a connection with you and had you believing that it was something that was genuine. So today, that's really what the question is for me, and I constantly visit that question. What does my awakening mean? What does the awakening mean to me? And I have to say, it means different things on different days. But I'll tell you this, it always, almost always, no matter what the difference of the feelings are almost always that of gratitude, that of thanksgiving to God for awakening me to what I had no idea of that existed in my life and around my life for a long time. And it's the gratitude in different ways. So I have different emotions all the time, and for the most part, I try to latch on to positive feelings of this is for my benefit, not for my detriment. Because when you really think about it, at the core of your awakening should be the gratitude. Because just to come out of this relationship or this entanglement, just to know what you in fact have experienced, that alone should be the gratitude right there, because you're no longer in it. You're no longer trapped into this trance or this coma or this what do you call it when you put somebody under a spell? Hypnosis. You're no longer under the hypnosis. You are very much awake and attuned to what you actually went through. You may not wholeheartedly understand all of what a narcissist is, and that's okay. A lot of what they are, you could care less to know. But what is fundamentally vital for your healing is to try to grasp some of what they are as it pertains to their selfishness, their senselessness and what they do to people, their lack of concern for other people, even their lack of concern for the welfare of anybody else. These are the few things that we must determine to know, because that's a big part of your healing. The more you know about what these people are, the better it is for you. Because what that does, it will ensure going forward that you are both able to detect and determine if this type of person crosses your path or you interact with them in the future. And thereby you know how to proceed. And so when I hear people talk about, I'm done with them, I don't even think about them. That was then. That's in the past. Well, I get that part, but you neglect to realize that these people are on every corner. These people are in every facet of life. They're in every capacity that you can think of. The church, hospitals, the courtrooms, the daycares, the nursing homes, the police force, the government capacities. Everywhere you can name, that's where they are. So to dismiss this as a one-off, and I've heard people say, because you can say something to yourself doesn't mean that it is going to play itself out. Because you say it you say it out of your mouth and you think it in your head, it doesn't always work out that way in application. First of all, this is an abuse that is unlike any other abuse that a human being will ever experience. This is almost comparable to a loss of a loved one. This is exactly the experience that most of us will experience when you lose a loved one. Because you have to understand, you solemnly gave everything that was in you, emotionally, mentally. A lot of times even you prayed and worshiped spiritually with these people. And to have yourself wake up to one day and realize that this was nothing of the sort with that other person. You were all in this alone. It's like this person never existed, because they didn't. They gave you an illusion. And so you can't not dismiss the fact that you're to the point where you think because you're out and you have distance between and space between you and that person that abused you, this will not guarantee in and of itself that you won't experience this again. That's why we always say you must educate yourself, isolate yourself. At the same time, raise your vibration. Spend time with yourself, looking deep within you to find out what it is that really makes you content, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what brings you satisfaction. And don't talk yourself out of the fact that you need to be better to yourself. Don't never think you're being too selfish, because unless you can get yourself to a place of healing and a place of health, mentally, physically, in all other aspects, you can not rightfully, adequately determine where these people are in your life going forward. The more healing you become, the more you will be attuned and adept to being able to discover these people from afar. You'll be able to determine them from a distance. I'm speaking from experience. And shortly after the narcissist left my home, I experienced a few relationships or interactions, not even relationships. I didn't form bonds with them. So I use relationship lightly. I went on to discover and get entangled to some degree with a couple of more. So it's just not a one-off, man. And so this is why we must master the art of self-love. Master the art of self-reflection. Master the art of isolation and seclusion in doing you. Never sacrifice yourself needlessly and excessively for someone else, thereby neglecting yourself wholeheartedly in the end. give a fair amount of yourself to people and things as you actually believe that it will both benefit that person and it won't leave you assed out. You got to find that striking balance. You have to. Nobody can ascribe and prescribe what that will look like and how it will look. And so you have to determine what you're willing to stick your neck out for. And so once you begin to start exercising this out and about, I'll give you an example before I close. If you have a problem with being triggered and you have isolated yourself, like I've heard some people in comments say, I just stay to myself. I just, in the way that I hear that, it seems like that may be a good thing on their part because they're working on themselves, but it's an undertone there that kind of gives me the impression that maybe that's a safe place for them. They feel like if they don't expose themselves to these people, they can't hurt them, they can't affect them. Again, these people, you've allowed them to make you go into a seclusion and an isolation in a way that's not going to benefit you. It must be an isolation while you're at the same time trying to elevate your vibration, trying to educate yourself on what these people are and how they move. And spiritually, you have to pray. If you're a spiritual person, you have to rely on your spiritual foundation. Ask God to help you and guide you and strengthen you and enlighten you. There's no magic potion here. You have to spend time with God, meditating, asking Him what His vision is. So when I'm closing with this, you have to realize that this is going nowhere soon. These people will walk about this land just as you and I will until such a time as they are here no more. So you have to invest the time in educating yourself with the isolation. And so when you automatically think by not going out and about, that's like the once and done. And I was about to say, if you really want to exercise exercising triggering and not being triggered, I was thinking the other day, call about some of the bills that you have. Call customer service if you have some stuff that's been undealt with in your house. Call customer service and have them give you their spiel, the back and forth. You know how they do sometimes, especially if you got a genuine complaint. And just tolerate as much as you can with like the dog chasing their tail. This is what customer services do a lot of time. When you call customer service, you can never get a physical person on the phone. And I'm not saying do this just recklessly. If you got some undealt with affairs you've been putting off like I have, and I've called and I've actually had to work on my stamina and my tolerance, because in my vibration elevating, and now that I know what I know about narcissists, how they work in all capacities, and these are the type of people a lot of times that will be in customer service. They will gaslight the hell out of you. They will be calm as a cucumber while you're losing your marbles. So what I have adopted in my life, when I call these places, they put me on hold and they have me going through these rituals in this robotic mumbo jumbo that they're reading off of a chart. It is that time and that moment for me to tolerate and to realize that this shouldn't trigger me. I should be tolerant to this, deal with this. Don't have to accept everything that they're saying to me, but I have to be able to tolerate it in order to get past the situation, in order to get some kind of resolve. And the beautiful thing about customer service is you don't see them, they don't see you. Because a narcissist needs to see your reaction. Over the phone, it is very, very difficult for someone to read your emotions. And just try to see if you can be tolerant, and try to see if you can reciprocate with kindness in a cool, calm, collective head, and see how that pans out for you. And if you begin to do this over the phone with customer service, and you become tolerable to some of the things that you know are designed to agitate you, you then are able to go out in society, and you will already have been trained in how to deal with people out and about. I don't know if this makes sense, but it actually is an exercise that I try frequently, because this is training ground. In your seclusion, call about some of the things in your affairs that you haven't taken care of, that you've neglected in times past. Or if you got a bill, if you have a complaint about something, call these people and see if you can actually tolerate them trying to pretend to help you. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of this stuff with customer service and different things like that, it's a real shit show too. They recruit specifically, I believe, narcissists of high caliber. And that's not all customer service representatives, so I'm not here to bash every customer service representative, because these people are in all facets of life. I was just referencing customer service. So that's an exercise to try out, guys. And I'll tell you something else I did the other day, and I was going to do this on a separate video. But this is something also, if you don't want to call customer service and do that one, I've amassed a lot of coins, pennies, nickels, dimes. I hate change. And I just throw it in a bin. And so the other day I saw it. I'm always having to move this thing around to get to other things that I'm searching for. And so I grabbed a bowl, laid a t-shirt out on my bed. I got some latex gloves, because I hate the taste, not the taste, the smell and the odor of the coins on my hands. So I got latex glove. I sat there in the bed. I had some rolls of for nickels, dimes, and pennies and quarters. I sat there and I rolled the pennies first. Well, maybe last. But my whole point is, if you want to grow tolerance, and you want to find out where you are as far as your tolerance, and build your tolerance, thereby not being triggered as much, count coins. Some of you guys probably saying, what the hell does that have to do with mastering not being triggered? Trust and believe. Start counting those coins. Especially if you got something you got to go do and you have a few things in your head. If you're like me, I'm always constantly thinking of, what do I have to do in the course of a day? And yesterday or the other day, I had a couple things I needed to do. It was around 11 o'clock a.m. And so I knew that this was probably a half hour to an hour worth of counting coins. So that there was the tolerance factor. And so I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was jittery starting out, but I willed myself to be calm and relaxed and just focused on the thing at hand. And this is just a weird little trick or exercise that I found that I've adopted, and I probably will do it some more. I got some more pennies left, probably about $10 more worth. But I got most of them rolled. I rolled them all to the point where I didn't have any more penny wraps. So I mastered that the other day. And so, and I've got a sewing machine. Start doing some stuff that takes patience. That's how you will build your tolerance, and that's how you will build your strength in not being triggered as much. Hope these things help you guys. Meantime, bless.